What's up, guys? Pyromaniac720 here, and I have for you today a couple more battles from the ORAS in-game battle spot doubles ladder. Still using the same team I used yesterday, which was Sun team that I considered bringing to nationals, and then decided not to because although it was really fun and pretty good in best of one, it wasn't that great in best of three, so I dropped it. So as you can see the team on screen there: Venusaur, Sableye, Scrafty, Heatran, Charizard Y, and Cresselia. So I played a little bit with my other Nats team, like the team I'm actually bringing, and I climbed to 1731, so finally find some good opponents. As you see, we find Brendan from New York with a 1768 rating, and a team of Cresselia, Salamence, Tyranitar, Heatran, Rotom Wash, and Aegislash. So I've been seeing a lot of Tyranitar lately. I think it should see more use than it does. I don't know why it doesn't. I guess it doesn't because of you can't outspeed Scarf Landorus, and Landorus, of course, can just Superpower it or Earthquake it, plus Intimidate it. I mean, overall, this team's pretty standard, so I don't think I should have too much trouble with it. They don't have a great answer to a Sun lead, with the exception of resetting it with T-Tar, which could be an issue. I actually think I'm going to lead. I don't think I'm going to lead the Sun. I'm going to lead that in the back. I'm going to lead Scrafty and Sableye with Charizard and Venusaur in the back. I kind of want to bring my own Heatran to Earth Power his, but outside of that, my Heatran doesn't do much other than maybe overheat the Aegislash. But I have Charizard for that, and I think the Venusaur looks. See, Venusaur looks decent here too. I mean, it hits the Salamence HP Ice, it hits Rotom Wash Energy Ball, and same thing with Tyranitar. But I don't know. I don't want to auto lose to that. The issue is if I bring Heatran, I pretty much auto lose to Rotom Wash, and if I bring Venusaur, I pretty much auto lose to Heatran. But I think Scrafty will kind of compound that issue. And I'm bringing Sableye so I can taunt the Aegislash. I can burn the Crest, taunt the Crest, burn the Tyranitar, burn the burn the Salamence. Sableye I think is a really good Pokemon. I used it at Georgia Regionals and I loved it. So we actually see Heatran Salamence lead for my opponent, which is I am fine with that. So now the question is my opponent going to double protect here because of the fake out? I think a double protect would make a lot of sense for my opponent. So I'm actually going to Drain Punch the Heatran and use Feint. I don't think my opponent Salamence wants to take a burn right now. Of course this Drain Punch isn't going to do a ton of damage, but and Salamence protects. Alright, are we going to see the protect from Heatran? That'd be pretty ideal. Yeah, we do. Perfect. So I get free damage off turn 1. I am fine with that. So I'll get a nice little Drain Punch off here. Like I said, -1. Scrafty not known for its offensive prowess. Still does, 40%. I'm fine with that. I am just going to Drain Punch again, and this time I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Salamence. And Salamence is going to stay in, so as long as I don't miss, it's going to take a burn here. I don't know how well I'll take a burn Double Edge plus Heat Wave. And I do connect, thank God. So now he's at -3, essentially. Oh yeah, he's special. Obviously, duh. That's actually better for me since I have Assault Vest. So I'm going to take both of these attacks pretty well. Oh, Jesus, critical hit. Oh, thank God I didn't burn. So, taking back some health there. It's fine with me. So, I'm going to Drain Punch the Heatran once more, and I'm just going to quash the Salamence. I think he's going to just double target, or double, yep, perfect. So he's going to double again, figuring he's going to knock me out with the Hyper Voice plus Heat Wave, but his Heat Wave won't knock me out. Well, knock out Sableye, obviously, but it won't knock out Scrafty. So as long as I don't get burned here, another critical hit on Scrafty. Jesus. Stop critting my Scrafty. And Drain Punch gets off. And now the Heatran's gone. So the Heatran, which was the biggest threat to my team, is now gone, thank God. So now I feel very good about the rest of this match. And how Hyper Voice goes off, duh. I forgot, I quashed him, I didn't stop him from attacking. Alright, so now I have Charizard and Venusaur coming in. And like I said, Venusaur has HP Ice, so it can take out this Salamence. If Aegislash comes in, oh, Tyranitar comes in. That's, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm guessing it's Scarf. I also don't know how much Hyper Voice does to Venusaur in regular form. Alright, well, I'm just going to Mega Evolve and Double Protect. He's going to stay on a Tyranitar, so I don't really know. Alright, so you got Double Protect, obviously. The question is, what? I mean, obviously something's coming in for Tyranitar. Like, he's going to switch that out. Hyper Voice, so he's... Oh, I guess he could be Scarf. I don't know. He might be Scarfed is the issue right now. And if he's Scarfed, I am in big trouble. I'm going to overheat that slot and hope that, like, Aegislash comes in, and I'm just going to Hidden Power Ice these Salamence. And Tyranitar switches out. Let's see if it's probably going to be Rotom, but it was going to be Aegislash. Awesome. So I just picked up a KO, 2 KOs. Oh, Salamence protected. Oh, that was unfortunate. Actually, it would have been better there if Overheat didn't connect. That sucks. So now, of course, Tyranitar comes back in. So if he's Scarfed, I lose. And if he isn't, I assume he's Scarfed, though. So I'm going to HP Ice again. Hyper Voice plus Rock Slide will definitely knock me out. Hyper Voice might knock me out, to be honest. I don't really know. And it doesn't, so... Oh, good move. Very smart move by my opponent, not going for the Rock Slide, risking the miss. So those crits on Scrafty really sucked, because those added up pretty quick, and I think having Drain Punch here for this the Tyranitar would have been good. And also, I mean, burning this Salamence wasn't very helpful. I really have no way to win this. I need a miracle, basically. Now the Hyper Voice comes out. Gonna do a pretty good chunk. Just about 50. Crunch should knock me out. Alright, well, I mean, to play that better, I could have... I mean, I don't know. I got critted like 3 times, so it hurt my survivability. And I didn't really have any switches. That's another issue I have with this team, is I don't have a lot of great switches, you know. If I had switched in Venusaur, I would be taking Heat Wave and a Hyper Voice. If I switched in regular Charizard, I'd also be taking Heat Wave and a Hyper Voice, which regular Charizard does not like taking. The Hyper Voice would have done a huge chunk because I wouldn't have the special defense boost. But, yeah, that was just... The double Heat Wave crit probably would have let me survive that Drain Punch. I think also what sucked was losing Sableye, because being able to burn or quash that that Tyranitar would have been really nice. As we find Kumi from Japan with a 1630 rating. And we're facing a rain team, so we see Politoed, Ludicolo, Mawile, Gardevoir, Hydreigon, and Talonflame. So I saw the Gardevoir and I was like, oh, maybe it's got a Trick Room mode, but it's also got the Mawile. So that's what the Mawile made me think Trick Room, as did the Gardevoir, but I assume it's double Mega. I think it's probably a Tailwind team, because of course Mawile loves rain. So I'm actually going to lead Scrafty Cress and just bring Mawile or Charizard and Venusaur in the back. I like Mawile Crest because it's able to do a lot of really nice chip damage to the to rain Pokemon. It's able to do, like I said, really nice chip damage to the rain Pokemon, and they're just both so bulky, especially with the Assault Vest, that it just kind of wears them out. I guess the one thing I don't want to see is a Mawile lead. I guess Talonflame Mawile could be an issue. I guess Gardevoir could be an issue, too, just because of the Hyper Voice onto Scrafty. And I don't... Charizard and Venusaur, although they both resist Hyper Voice, definitely don't want to take a Hyper Voice from Gardevoir, because that's ridiculously powerful. I'm actually curious what that calc is. Yeah, I think the Rain Lead would be good for my opponent here, especially because with the one downside to Charizard, of course, is the fact that I don't get immediate Sun when I switch in, unless I Mega Evolved first, which is why I liked using Ninetales at Georgia Regionals, because I get the immediate Sun whenever I switched in, and that's why I like using Politoed. Because it's just such a momentum turner where you can get that Sun boost, or that Weather boost at the beginning of the turn. Alright, so see, my opponent has definitely a few really good options here, so it's going to be tough for me to set, or it's tough to counter this team from the leads. It's just going to go Politoed Ludicolo though, so that's exactly what I was leading for. So I'm just going to fake out the Politoed and Icy Wind. And of course, this Politoed is faster than me, not a surprise. So fake out and Icy Wind. I'm guessing we're going to trade fake outs here. If not, then I don't know. I think trading fake outs would be bad for my opponent because Rain is not infinite. I'm actually going to withdraw the Politoed. What are we going to see come in? The Mawile? Oh, the Gardevoir. And he'll take some Rocky Helmet damage, which is nice. So I guess it still resists it relatively well. Hyper Voice still does 35 to 41% to my Charizard before it Mega Evolves. So of course I'm going to switch out here. Into Charizard. I think he's going to attack the Crest with Ludicolo because Hyper Voice, of course, KOs Scrafty. And I'm just going to Icy Wind again. And I keep Icy Winding because, oh, it is Mega. So we're not going to see the Mawile this time, which makes sense because I have Charizard. And we do see the Scald, hopefully not into Charizard. Alright, good. Into Crest. No burn, no burn. Awesome. Icy Wind gets off. So this is a pretty slow... Oh, I guess I already Icy Winded, that's right. Hyper Voice comes off into Charizard, and yeah, see, it still does such a nice chunk of damage to the Charizard. And to the Crest. So, of course, I can very freely Mega Evolve in Heat Wave here because the switch-in happens before I Mega Evolve. And I think I'm going to do that with a Helping Hand. And, you know, I don't have to worry about a Rain Boost from this Ludicolo because I think I should be faster than it. Oh no, it's only at -1, right? Because it faked me out turn 1. It's going to be close. I really want to take out that Gardevoir, though. Another thing I could have done, so I'm going for the Helping Hand because I really want to just destroy things, but I also could Moonlight with Crest and get some health back, which would be pretty nice. Especially in the sun, I should be pretty much back to full health. My opponent doesn't have a good switch into a Heat Wave either, right? I get just Politoed, but he's not going to want to switch in Politoed here because it won't reset the weather, since he'll switch in before I Mega Evolve, and then I'll Mega Evolve, take away the sun. So if my opponent doesn't know the game mechanics, I guess Politoed's the play. We do see Gardevoir switch out. Is it going to be Politoed? That would be ideal for me. What is that? It is Politoed, wow. So my opponent makes a very bad switch there. And puts me in a really good position, I think. And now this next turn, I can actually Moonlight with Crest pretty freely. And of course, we're not going to see a Protect. I presume they're not going to see a Protect from the Ludicolo. Heat Wave connects. How much is that going to do to Ludi? Sun boosted. Oh, knocks it out. Perfect. That did so much damage to the Politoed. That might be Scarf Toad, to be honest. So I'm fully anticipating this. Is that Gardevoir again? Yeah, so Gardevoir comes back. So even if it's Scarf Toad, it really can't do anything to me. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to Helping Hand Heat Wave. Because Scarf Toad won't knock out Charizard from this range. Unless it's got maybe Hydro Pump. Oh, he's got Rain Dance! Oh, it's Scarf Rain Dance! Oh, I did not anticipate that. Still does a pretty good chunk of damage to the Gardevoir. Oh, it's a crit, that's why. So Hyper Voice should knock out Cress, actually. It does. Wow, I did not play that very well. So the one thing I have going for me right now is that he pretty much has to switch out his Politoed. Otherwise he's locked into Rain Dance. So I'm going to switch in... Scrafty. So now the question becomes... Does he protect Gardevoir? I'm gonna say he doesn't. I'm gonna actually double target the Gardevoir with a Fake Out and an Overheat. But he's got to switch out his Politoed, and I know I know he has to be Scarf because my Charizard's Max Speed Timid, so there's no way he can outspeed otherwise. Let's see what comes in here. I don't know what that is either. It's gonna be Hydreigon. Oh, he does protect. Good move. So that's what damn it. That is very likely going to be game. I'm going to switch in Venusaur, but I'm going to lose Scrafty. I guess I'll just Drain Punch the Hydra. But he can just Hyper Voice, and I don't know, he could probably just Dark Pulse the Venusaur slot to make sure Hyper Voice was full power. I'm guessing he's Scarf Hydra. He does Dark Pulse the Venusaur slot, so wow. So I'm going to lose both Pokemon here. So I guess I just took a really unnecessary risk there. That was really bad. I should have just switched out Charizard and switched in Venusaur. I wasn't really thinking that through very well. Ah, that was annoying. I'm still gonna try. Heat Wave away. You know, I do have like the smallest sliver of a chance. Oh no, I guess I wouldn't because he's Scarfed. So yeah, I don't have a chance unless I crit this Heat Wave. But I guess Dark Pulse would knock me out too, so I have no chance. Oh, he's not Scarfed. Wow, he just got a slow Gardevoir. Oh my god. Oh, burns the Politoed. So he must be Specs then, based on how much damage that did to the Venusaur. He's probably Specs. I don't know. Venusaur's not that bulky since I'm running Max Speed Special Attack. All right. Well, I definitely have time for one more battle, so I'm gonna do one more. Party. Yeah, so 0-2 right now, not looking good. So like I said, the reason I'm not bringing this team to Nats is, like as you can see, it does have bad matchups, and it's not even bad matchups. It's just I have to play so well to do well with it, and I think it requires me playing better than I am, or maybe not better than I am, but it requires me to play too perfectly. For too many matches to succeed, as we find Kara with a 1665 rating and a team of Amoonguss, Cress, Gyarados, Bisharp, Conkeldurr, and Thundurus. So we see Mega Gyarados with redirection, which is pretty scary. And honestly, I'm going to lead Charizard, Venusaur, and just start spamming attacks. I'm going to bring Heatran. See, again, Heatran's not bad, but it's not great. Definitely want to bring the Cress. Although, I don't want to bring the Cress. I want to bring the Cress for the Conk, but I don't think he'll bring the Conk. I'm going to bring the Sableye. And I guess I'll bring Heatran in the back. Alright, so nice thing here is my opponent doesn't have any weather, so I control the weather for once, which is, like I said, nice. We're going to see Thundurus and Conkeldurr, so not the lead I was looking for. I wonder if this Conk has Rock Slide. I'm just going to immediately take out Thundurus because I hate it. I'm going to Heat Wave and Sludge Bomb that slot. And that should be enough, I think. I hope. I guess, like I said, the one thing that really hurts here is I either take probably a Rock Slide from Conk or maybe an Ice Punch, but I think I should be fine. If it's Assault Vest, then it's probably Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Ice Punch knockoff. So maybe I won't take a Rock Slide. We see Thunder Wave probably into Venusaur. Oh, into Charizard. Okay. So at least I'll keep my speed boost for a while. Just don't be fully parried, please. Ugh, fully parried. God damn it. That was the one thing that could hurt me. As I do just over 50. And I do get Ice Punched. Ice Punch crit. I don't think the crit mattered. Where is he? Ice Punch? I'm guessing he's Iron Fist, so I can probably freely burn him. Which is what I'm going to go for. I think... Yeah, I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to Heat Wave again. And Will-O-Wisp the Conk. And I'm guessing we're going to see a Taunt on a Sableye, but I do have Mental Herb, so... I will be fine. Oh, that full paralysis sucks. Nice thing is, Ice Punch probably means no Rock Slide, so he doesn't have an effective way to take care of the Charizard as long as I get rid of Thundurus. Oh, nope, just gonna Swagger me. Even better. Well, this sucks. Please hit through it. Please hit through it. Yes! Uh-oh. This will tell us if he has guts or not. He has guts. You've got to be kidding me. So he's probably not carrying knockoff then. Well, that's game. I guess I have one chance to win this. And that's Sableye not hitting it. So I'm going to Will-O-Wisp my own Heatran to get the Flash Fire boost, and then Heat Wave. So as long as Sableye doesn't hit itself in Confusion, I should be good. He does taunt me, but I have the Mental Herb, so... This is like my only chance right now. Oh, come on, please hit through it, please hit through it. Yes! Come on, Heatran. Come on, Heatran, hit them both. Yes! Will Assault Vest get knocked out? No! Why is that Conkeldurr so bulky? Stupid Assault Vest. And, of course, because of Guts, I am knocked out. Worst mistake was burning the Conkeldurr. Wow, that's just unbelievable. Let's see if that is... Maybe he can knock me out without? I don't know. And here goes Will-O-Wisp Bisharp again. I mean, Ice Punch knocks me out. Bisharp protects, yeah. Can I hit through the third? Wow, I hit through all three. That's cool. And Ice Punch will knock me out. Alright, so let's see how much Rock Slide does. So Rock Slide on Charizard is a guaranteed Oko, but not by a lot. So if he wasn't Guts, burned. Yeah, it wouldn't even have been close. So he definitely was Guts, unfortunately. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I went 0-3, which is why I'm not using this team at Nationals. Just not very consistent with it. So like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you liked and disliked, and let me know if you want to see me use anything in the future. And until next time, guys, bye.